everyone to put your stuff down, take out one business card. Everybody take out one business card, please. If you don't have a business card, get a little piece of paper, write your name and your phone number on it, right? Or whatever you guys use to give your information out. Everybody got it? Okay, this is going to be very quick. Okay, people like to take a long time doing this, but all I want you to do is stand up. Everybody, stand up. I'm going to have you introduce yourself to someone that you do not know, someone that you did not come here today with. Introduce yourself, tell them what you do, and then just come right back to your seat. Ready? Go. All right. I said introduce yourself, not set a date. Let's go. Grab a seat. Come on, guys. So how was that? Did you guys make some good contacts? Some potential business opportunities? Right. Business is built on relationships. Do you guys agree? And I really, really believe that because I've dedicated the last 2 years of my life to investing more in building the relationships than actually selling the products and services that I offer. And I truly believe through seeing my success over the last 15 years of being in business, but really the more that I dove into really not trying to make a sale, but more build a connection with someone and that will lead to a sale, I have seen dramatic increase in sales, in relationship building, and referrals. Does anybody need or want more referrals in their business? Does anybody want more leads in your business, right? One thing that I've noticed in my own business, because I'm an entrepreneur just like you, right? Is anybody here not an entrepreneur? Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure. I personally have realized that I'm the number one salesperson in my business. Anybody here the number one salesperson in their business? Oh, I hope so, all right. Why? Because the majority of you, maybe not every single one of you, but the majority of you are what's called a personality-driven business. What does that mean? That means you're the face of your business, you're the one that works with the customer or the client, and you're the one that makes the sales. So what I realized in 10 years of marketing my company, my business has never made a sale for me. My logo and my website has not actually ever produced me a sale. And I've been telling my logo to sell for a long time. Trust me, I tried. In the end of the day, I'm the number one salesperson. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have sales teams, right? But in the end of the day, it all really comes down from you. You're the spearhead. So I realized something. Why am I focusing time, money, and effort in building my quote-unquote company when I'm really the one that people are buying from? So this doesn't mean that I got rid of my business, okay? What I did is I started focusing on my marketing efforts on myself and my personal brand and who I am in the world. Because the initial reaction that people have is going to lead to that potential business sale, transaction, referral, right? So I focused on doing three things: building trust, credibility, and expert status in my particular niche for myself. Because guess what? People like to do business with people they like, know, and trust. Agree? Right? Would you also agree that people like to refer people that they like, know, and trust? Or they like to be referred to people that their friends and family like and trust? So I started thinking about this. This is how I've built my business. This is how I've made the majority of my sales. What if I spent more time focusing on what I know works for the last decade, instead of focusing time on Facebook ads and online marketing and all this digital stuff that I know nothing about? And if you do, and if that's your space, I love it and I honor you, and maybe we should talk later because I want to get into that space, but that's definitely not what has built my business over the last almost 15 years. So as I started to investigate, how do I take a complete stranger, someone that I've met for the very first time, and build a connection as quickly as possible so now that they feel confident that they want to learn more about what I do, potentially do business with me, but most importantly, feel comfortable to refer someone to me that is my qualified customer. What would it be like for you if every person you met could actually refer you one person that's your ideal customer? What would that do for your business? How would that be for you? Because let me ask a question. Is referrals and word of mouth marketing one of the number one things of how you guys get leads in your business? Does anyone here not have word of mouth or referrals as the number one lead source? Not. Anybody? Not one person. Nobody has like online traffic or anything? Not one? Wow, you're the first room that's no, you? But they come from online, you pay for traffic, they come to your website, they find you through SEO, and that's how they find. Okay, so one person in the room. Anybody else?
I do as well. If you just Google spray tan in my area, I am the first person that pops up.
Is that the majority of your business comes through there? Or because you got to think, you get business from your website, but you also meet people, you go to networking groups, you're at this event. Yes. Which one is more prominent?
I would have to say 60% because then once I get them in, then I have a referral program and say, if you bring
Perfect.
free, you're for free.
So you're the same thing. So in a room of 85 people, 2 people in the room get their majority, and she said 60%, from online. So the reality is, I'm not the only one. Relationships make business. If you focus more on connecting with people and building that trust and that credibility and making sure that they know that you are an expert in your space, I promise you they're going to want to do business with you over your competition. And let's be honest. The only concern you really have is not will people buy from you, but it's will they buy from you opposed to your competition. Because if they don't buy, there's nothing we can do about it, right? If they don't buy, they don't buy. But if they go buy from someone else, there's something we could have done about it. And I believe truly, and what I'm going to talk about today, is that it's all about how much you connect with that person in that short amount of time from you first meet them to when they're hopefully going to make a buying decision. Does this make sense with everybody? All right. Before I get into that, talking about relationships, one relationship that I have, some of you might know this man. Anybody know Bill Walsh? Anybody? All right, yes. He's an amazing speaker. He's also the owner of Power Team International, and he's the titanium sponsor of this Small Business Expo. And it's not just this Small Business Expo here in Dallas, it's every Small Business Expo throughout the year, which they travel to 15 cities. So it's kind of a big deal. I met him a few years ago in a room just like this where he was speaking, and I attended his Rainmaker event, which is his flagship product. Then I went to his speaker course and went to all his courses, and lo and behold, I'm here on stage speaking because of this man right here. So I always like to, give feedback and gratitude to people that have helped me get to where I'm at, because that's what I believe how we grow in our business. And if you have the opportunity to see his keynote speech at 4:30 p.m. on the main stage, I encourage you to stay. I encourage you to see that presentation, because not only is he one of the best speakers I've ever seen, the actual program that he sells is probably one of the best programs for entrepreneurs. Whether you're a startup or if you've been in business for over a decade, this will help you grow and launch a more successful business. Sound good? All right. How many of you guys like free gifts? Yes? Everybody? Okay. No, for those of you guys that don't like free gifts, you guys can leave right now. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so what I want you to do is take out your cell phones. Everybody take out your cell phones really quick. And I'm sure you've seen people do this where you text the number and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to do something way cooler than that, okay? I'm going to have you open up a web page. Go up to, I don't care if it's Safari, if it's Chrome, whatever you use on your cell phone. Open up a web page, and I want you to go to Rey, R-E-Y, Perez360.com. Can you bring in that banner? Let's just put it here. R-E-Y, Perez, P-E-R-E-Z, 360.com. Let me know when you're there. Just to kind of hold your phone up so I know you're there. Wow, her phone is fast. Okay. First of all, have you guys ever seen anything like this before? And I'm interested in knowing because I invented it, right? So if somebody else invented something I invented, I want to know. This is called a social media marketing site. And it's really a connection tool. And the reason it's called 360 is because this is the way people can connect with me from all my social medias and every place online. So if you guys want to do your due diligence on who I am, you got everything on me right there. But what I want you to do is I want you to click that contact button on the right-hand top side. Contact. It's a 360 site. Social media 360 site. Yeah. This is not a website. This is a connection tool. This is a networking tool. This is probably the most powerful tool I've ever invented. Why? Because in the end of the day, when I meet someone for the first time, and if I send you to my business website, what am I trying to do?
Sell me something.
You got it. And what is the number one thing that nobody wants to ever feel like someone's doing to them when you first meet them? We love to buy, but we hate to be sold. So I realized when I'm meeting people for the first time, sending them to my business website doesn't work. So what do I move to? I move to social media, right? Because social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, it's more of a natural social way to connect with people. But here's the problem. I don't know what social media you prefer. I don't know what social media you use or you like. So in the end of the day, I wanted to have, and if I sent you 6 of my social medias, what do you feel I'm trying to do? Sell you again, right? I'm trying to here are all my social medias. So I wanted to have one place where people can connect with me from all angles. But more importantly, this is the truth. People like to research someone they're going to do business with. We like to Google them. We like to look up their Instagram, their Facebook, see what they're up to in the world. I know this, and I understand this. So I said, you know what? Let me give people exactly what they want. Let me not make them have to do any work. Let me give it to them on a silver platter. And that's how I invented this 360 site. And when I tell you this has become one of the most powerful tools in building relationships that I've ever created, it is tremendously more powerful than anything anyone's actually doing in the networking space up to now. So in the meantime, click the button that says contact, and you see it says send text message. Click that send text message and text the word expo. Don't text anything else. Don't text hi, don't text your name, just text the word expo, because I'm going to send you guys a free gift. I'm going to send you an invitation to the business workshop that we're doing tomorrow with Bill Walsh. We're also doing a VIP private breakfast. So for those of you guys that like full breakfasts, I'm going to hook you up with that. But more importantly, it's a very small, intimate group where you get a little bit of one-on-one time with Bill Walsh and myself and a couple other experts. But also you'll be in my text, and we can always communicate back and forth. That is my business cell phone, and obviously if a lot of people are texting at the same time, realize it takes me a minute to get back to you. All right, so let me finish my speech and get some time, and I will get back to you, but I promise that's the best way to connect with me. Cool? Everybody did it? Excellent. All right. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for 5 entrepreneurs. How many? 5. And the reason I'm looking for 5 is because I can only work with so many people at a certain time. So when I speak, I look for 5 people. I'm looking for 5 entrepreneurs that are really serious about taking their business to the next level, by leveraging their brand and who they are in your particular market to get more leads and more referrals. How many people in this room are looking to get more leads and referrals for your business? Let me just see who I'm talking to, okay? And this isn't just like a rhetorical question, like clearly everybody wants to do that, right? But who's really serious about it? Because what I've realized with entrepreneurs is the majority of the time spent is looking for sales lead conversations, not having sales lead conversations. Does that make sense? How many of you guys have endless leads? Like, I have too many leads, I can't handle it, I gotta hire an assistant. You do? I want to be in your business then. We'll talk later. The reality is that happened to me because when I implemented this process about one refers one, meaning I ask every person I meet, once I put them through my relationship building process, I ask them to refer me one person. And everybody's glad and happy to do it because they've already connected with me enough that they know that I'm the real deal, I'm trustworthy, I'm credible, and I'm an expert in my space. So when they think of one person that I can benefit, they have no problem referring it. Especially because I created an amazing referral program, which I'll talk to you guys about in a minute. So what I've done is I've created a program through what I've invented for myself to help other business owners do the exact same thing. There's only 2 things. Number 1, you have to be a personality-driven business. Meaning if you're selling products online or you're doing stuff on Amazon, I can't help you. Unless you are meeting people face-to-face or meeting them online and you are the face of your business, my program is not going to be as effective, and I don't care if you want to pay me $100,000, I'm not going to bring you on board because I only bring on clients that I know I can produce results for. Because guess what's the number 1 way I get business? Referrals. All my happy customers, every single customer that I do a branding package always refers me, and not only one, they refer me multiple. Enough that I actually have someone in the back of the room that is one of my clients, or former clients, current clients, and that she was so happy when she heard I was coming to Dallas, she flew from Austin just to help me at this event. And I'll let her share her story a little bit later. Okay, so I'm looking for 5 entrepreneurs. How many? 5. All right. So what we're going to talk about today, how to maximize your brand exposure. Okay? Position yourself as an expert in your particular niche. We all know that people will pay more money if someone is an expert or a specialist in their space, right? It's just the way that works. How would you like to be able to do the exact same thing you're doing and charge more money for it? Yes? Yes? Okay, that's exactly what I will show you how to do. Also, how to elevate your brand's look and feel on all your digital medias. Let's be honest, we live in a very digital, visual world, right? It's all about photos and videos. The way you look when people see you for the first time makes a difference. First impressions are the most important part of the business building relationship, right? People do judge a book by its cover, right? Have you guys ever been walking through a parking lot and you see like a Honda and a Toyota? Just keep walking. You see a Mercedes and a BMW, you might take another look. You see a Bentley and a Ferrari, what do people do? Stop, take a look, take a picture, maybe a selfie, right? Why? They're all cars, they all have 4 wheels, they all get you to the same place. Why do people stop? And it literally stops them in their tracks and they're just drawn to this. Why? It's all about the look. It's all about the image. And I want you to consider that we're all vehicles in here and on our business journey. Which vehicle are you? Are people stopping in their tracks to look at you? And I don't mean just physically, right? Because we can be dressed in a nice suit, but there's so much opportunity with the internet that you can get hundreds of thousands of eyeballs on who you are. If your online presence isn't top notch, you're missing out on so much opportunity. Because here's the thing, no one's gonna come knock on your door and say, I wanna give you money, unless you give them a reason to. So by elevating your digital presence, all of a sudden, it's just like being a Ferrari. People will stop, they're gonna take a look, and they're gonna say, oh wow, I wanna learn more about this or this person. And that will considerably change the way that you attract leads and that you get referrals. Because here's the thing, when someone refers you, the referral is a good step. But if they don't have anything other than the referral to be attracted to you, what typically happens? You gotta call them, you gotta try to schedule the appointment, they're not available, then they push it out, and next thing you know, now you're chasing them and now you seem desperate, you're never gonna get that sale. Has that ever happened to anyone? Anybody ever experienced that or known anyone that has experienced it? Yeah, it's happened to me in the past. So I wanted to change that. I said, if I get a referral, I want that referral to say, I wanna meet this guy. I wanna know what this guy does. Like, I need to get connected with him. So I shifted it by the way that I was presented to them. And I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. Lastly, how to attract more leads. Obviously, all of you wanna get more leads. Create more business connections, because more connections leads more sales, right? I might meet you today and you might not buy from me, but you might lead me to my next sale. It's called drilling down. And if you're not doing that in your business, you're missing out tremendously. And lastly, sell more with less resistance. Because when you meet someone for the first time and you start the sales cycle, from the time that you buy, there's a process, right? There's that sales process. Have you guys ever experienced resistance in buying in that sales process? Anybody? How would you like to reduce that sales process and have less resistance? Here's the reality. It takes people time to purchase because they need exposures. It's proven that it's 3 to 7 exposures minimum before someone makes a buying decision. And I always like giving the example with the ladies. You guys go shoe shopping. Do you ladies walk into the shoe store, see a pair of shoes, look, oh, these are perfect, and go straight to the register? Sometimes, I get to sometimes. But most of the time, you look at it, you go try them on, you see how they fit, you look at them in the mirror, sometimes you take a picture, send it to your girlfriend, right? By the time you get to the cash register, you've probably looked at that shoe and had 5 or 6 exposures before you actually purchase it. You just don't realize that you're doing that. It's the same thing with your business. And if you don't already know what I'm telling you, just think about your sales cycle. When you meet the person, you talk about what you do, then you send them that email, then you have that meeting, then you set that next meeting, and then there's that follow-up. Those are all called exposures. So the idea is, if you can get more exposures to that person on who you are that help you build that trust and that credibility and that expert status, it's going to shorten the sales cycle considerably. Because by the time I have a sales conversation, they've already been exposed to me 7 times, 5 to 7 times minimum, through the relationship building process I've created. But none of those exposures actually feel any pressure on selling or buying. They're all just connections. They're just trust building, credibility building, research on the person's end so they feel comfortable with who I am. Because you know, in sales, anybody not in sales? Anybody not in sales? Okay, good. You know that in sales, what's the first thing you have to do with a person before you try to sell to them? Build what? Rapport, right? Trust, rapport. You build rapport. And how can you build rapport before meeting someone? How? Yes, yeah, referral, but how can you build rapport with someone before you actually speak to them? How? Through what? Social, online, digital. Through social media, through email, through text message, through websites. You have so much opportunity for people to learn everything about you before they even speak with you. That was not available 15, 20 years ago. It was not available. So the way that you have the opportunity to connect with people, and more importantly, connect with qualified buyers. Because I don't want you spending your day talking to a bunch of tire kickers. The reality is we want to figure out who's serious, because that's what's going to help you make more sales. Does this make sense, everyone? Yeah. All right, so this is what I'm going to show you how to do. So lastly, how to dramatically increase your referrals. higher quality edification process when you're in that referral, and lastly, to monetize on those referrals. Because I don't care if you have 100 referrals if you're only closing one. I'd rather get 10 referrals and close one. Does that make sense? All right? So before I do that, I want to share a little bit about my story. Is that okay with you? Yes? All right. Anybody know these two gentlemen? Yes? Les Brown, one of the probably best speakers out there. Kevin Harrington, the original shark from Shark Tank. These are just a couple of the clients that I've worked with. And I don't show you this to like impress you, but more to impress upon you that this is the caliber of people that I've been working with. And when I come to these Small Business Expo, this wasn't my goal. This wasn't my business. This was something because of working with Bill. He said, look, you got a message. You got an amazing product. You got to get it out there to these business owners. You got to get it out to these entrepreneurs. You know, you could change someone's complete business by what it is that you do. And sure enough, as I've been doing it for the last 6 months, I've seen time and time again, every single client that I work with that enrolls in our program sees a dramatic change in their business immediately. And I mean, it's a dramatic like this. You pull up to an event, everyone's outside, and you pull up in your Honda Accord. Or you pull up in your Ferrari. Is there a difference from one to the next? You don't change, but the way that people perceive you changes like this, in an instant. And that's what I do for my clients. And I'm going to show you how I do that right now. I got into this business because 15 years ago, I was doing nightclubs in South Beach. Anybody been to South Beach, Miami? Anybody been to South Beach in Miami during spring break? Okay, I did a lot of those parties. I ran Senior Frogs for like 6 years, had some of the craziest, wildest parties. I made a lot of money, specifically cash, but I did not like going to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know where everyone else is from, probably here in Dallas, but in Miami, they close at 5 a.m. So we wouldn't finish closing out and doing everything till like 6:30, wouldn't get home in bed till 7:30 in the morning, the sun is up. That wasn't the lifestyle I enjoyed. So what happened was a lot of business owners started seeing what I was doing with the nightclubs and seeing how I was getting so many people to an event, and they're like, can you help us market our businesses? So that's exactly what I did. I helped businesses attract more leads. And I used pretty much the exact same tactics I did in nightclubs. I used photography, I used video, and I used marketing content. And then MySpace came out, and I started leveraging that. And then Facebook came out, and then obviously you guys know the rest of the story. And I have built my marketing company over the last almost 14 and a half years, and I've been helping companies create amazing marketing content for their businesses. It wasn't until 2 or 3 years ago when I really dove into the personal branding, and my business has kind of shifted now to more focusing on creating the personal brand. Once we create the personal brand, then we move on to creating the business content to put out into the world. Because here's the thing. I have a video production guy in the back of the room. Can you guys say hi, Julian? Hi, Julian. Julian's been with me for almost 8 years. We've been creating videos for companies for a very long time. But what I used to realize is we'd create this amazing marketing video with all these testimonials, the actual owner of the company, and then we go to put it on their website. And guess what? There was a huge disconnect. Their website looked nowhere in comparison to the video. So what did I end up having to do? Redo their entire website. But when I sat down to redo their website, I'm looking at their logo, and their logo is so out of date that I ended up having to redo their brand. So I would have to work backwards. Now for me, I looked at it like this was a perfect opportunity. I'll sell them video, then I know I'm going to end up selling them website, and I know I'm going to end up selling them branding, and by the time they paid me $5, when they're done, they pay me $25. And that was great. But really what I realized is if I help people from the beginning to build their personal brand and get out there into the world, that's going to help them generate revenue faster. Because having amazing marketing content that gets them to you, but then when they get to you, they don't see that brand that's going to make them want to engage, you just wasted your money. So I flipped the business around. And now what I do is I focus on building the person, getting the leads, getting the referrals. Then once they're getting income, we take that income, then we invest in the video production and the marketing to get it out to more people. Because the one thing that every single one of you guys can leverage today is all your contacts and all your customers. You can leverage them right now. What you might not want to be able to, or not be able to do, is spend $5,000, $10,000 in creating video marketing and content. But you definitely can leverage your contacts. The problem is if you don't have the right marketing system and you don't have the right first impression in your brand, you're not going to properly leverage your contacts. Because you can call all your contacts and ask you to refer you. If you don't have something that looks like this, the impression's not going to be the same. This is what's called a digital business card. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, oh, I know a digital business card. There's tons of companies that do quote-unquote digital business cards. The reality is none of those are digital business cards. All of those are mobile websites, mobile marketing sites. This is a digital business card. Why? Because it just has my contact information, and that's it. That's a business card. The same way that you take a picture of your card right now and send it to me. But why am I doing a digital business card? What's my philosophy behind this? No, correct, but all of you guys exchange business cards, right? Where are those business cards? Not in the trash. We wait for you to leave before we throw them in the trash. Come on. But they're in your pocket right now. They'll probably end up in the trash. No. Some of them will. They're all in your pockets. How do I send you my card? How? Text message. How many of you guys check your text messages? All the time. Number one thing. So not only did I make an amazing impression, because nobody in this room, did anybody get an amazing business card that just knocked you out of your, I've never seen anything like this. Anybody get one? Probably not. Like, I had some amazing business cards. Like, I had like the actual plastic business cards. I spent like a lot of money on it because I really wanted to impress. I'm in branding, right? But this is so impressive, but the most important part is I'm in your text feed. And I have now, amongst 89, well, now there's probably 100 people in the room, I have actually made a connection with you. I am actually starting a conversation with you when everyone else is in your pocket. And that's the key. The key is starting to build the relationships. Hold the questions. So it's not just the digital business card. I took it one step further. I said, when I meet someone for the first time, I'm not just going to send them my digital business card. I need to have some type of introduction, some type of greeting. Who wants to be my volunteer? Who's got an iPhone? Anybody? You, come up here. Come on. What's your name?
Lindy.
Lindy? Yeah. Say hi, Lindy. Hi, Lindy. Now you got a fan club. Okay, so I just meet her at a networking event. She hands me her business card. I put it in my pocket. And I say, awesome, let me send you my digital business card. What's your number? And how do you spell Lindy?
Lindy.
Awesome. I like that. It's a cool name. So can you guys count? Just count slowly out loud. 12. All right, stop. How many? 12. All right. Go ahead and click on.
I'm waiting for it.
All right, it's coming through. Now, internet signal doesn't count, right? So the point is, while she's waiting for it, she might have bad service, I'm sending her my digital business card, but I also send her a text message. And I send her a text message that clearly I didn't actually write right now, right? Because in 12 seconds, I'm not writing a full-blown text message. Go ahead and read it out loud.
Lindy, pleasure meeting you. Above is my digital business card, and below is my contact card. Just click on it and create a new contact to save all my info on your phone. Let's try to connect sometime this week or next.
And there's a question mark after that, right? So I gave her a whole paragraph. Obviously, I didn't actually type that in front of you. I had it pre-made. But the language is exactly perfect. It says, above's my digital business card, below's my contact card. Just click on it, save it to your phone. Let's try to connect this week or next, question mark. Why is it with a question mark? Boom. Because I want to reply, because I want to set a date. Because what's the point of meeting someone that's a great contact if you're not actually going to have a conversation with them, right? So it's really about not making the connection. It's about making the connection an actual conversation. That's the only way it actually can become valuable to you. And then I send her my contact card. She clicks on it, and she saves all my information to her phone. Does it make sense, everyone? All right, big round of applause for Lindy.
And then I send you mine back.
And then she sends you hers. Awesome, thank you. So the point is that this isn't just about looking like the Ferrari. It's about performing like a Ferrari as well. Because if you make the first impression, they're going to be impressed. They're going to be open to learning more. If you say, let's connect sometime this week or next, I'm leaving it very open to them, right? They reply with, usually it's, sure. How about Tuesday? How about next week? I'm going out of town the week. I don't care what the reply is. My next pre-made message is, here's a link to my calendar. Click on it and pick the most convenient time for us to schedule a call. They click on it, and within 10 seconds, they're in my phone, already in my calendar. I haven't even spoken to them. This has changed my entire business of the way I connect with people and the way that I set sales calls. Because in the end of the day, in one networking event like this, I can meet 6, 7 people, and I will leave this event with 3 to 4 appointments out of those 6 or 7 already in my calendar. Then I'll follow up with the ones that didn't schedule and say, hey, did you get a chance to click on the link? I really want to connect with you. Then they do it, and now I have 8 calls scheduled for next week from one event. What do most people do when you leave this networking event and have that stack of business cards in your pocket besides throw them in the trash? You guys have to figure out some process. Anybody got an amazing process that they figured out? Because I'm one of those people. Like, I literally had the card scanner, put them into the Excel spreadsheet. I had my assistant organize everything, call them on my behalf. I had this amazing, elaborate follow-up process. Anybody have something like that? Okay, so what do you guys do then? You're gonna leave here with a bunch of business cards. What are you gonna do? You put them in the book, and they look great in the book. Look, I have a lot of business cards.
So then, like, whenever, like, I'm not in sales, but like my customers talk to me when they come to get a spray tan and they're just...
Okay, but what do you do with the business cards?
I tell them, you needed somebody? Oh, girl, I've got somebody for you. And
I love it. Oh, girl. So the reality is we waste the amazing opportunity that we have. That's really the reality. You guys are here today. Not only in this workshop, you got to meet some people, you're going to meet people throughout the day. You are going to lose and waste so many business opportunities that you have today alone because you don't have a systemized process to turn a connection into an actual conversation, right? And I'm sure this makes sense to everybody. You're like, oh, I'd love to have that technology, but it doesn't work as effectively if the impression isn't engaging enough. It isn't just, here's a link to my calendar. Because there's people that have calendars. I'm not the first one that invented having a link to a calendar, right? But it's the method and the process of how I do it that is so natural, it's not salesy, and it makes them want to meet with me instead of making them feel that I'm trying to meet with them. Because have you ever experienced when someone is like trying to sell you, or you know they're just trying to get with you, and it just pushes you off? Like I had this guy the other day. I have a Toastmasters group in Miami. Anybody part of Toastmasters? Yes, great organization, public speaking, help you get the heebie-jeebies out. So I'm a president of the Young Professional Entrepreneurs, and it's young state of mind, okay? And I had a new attendee, and he goes like this, pulls out a pocket, and he shakes his hand, and he gives me his business card. And I'm like, he's like, there's a little trick I like to do. And I'm like, awesome, thank you. And I just like he has no idea who I am, right? And I just walk away. And it's like that exact thing that he thinks he's being cool and he's connecting and he thinks is what is never going to, the reason why he is unemployed and is, well, he has multiple businesses, right? But he, in the end of the day, is not making any money. And it all comes down to spray and pray. And you'll hear, if you hear Bill speak, you'll hear about spray and pray. You know those people, they're just giving their business cards. That is never going to work. If you do not create value for people, if you do not create a first impression that's going to engage them, no one is going to want to have a conversation with you. Does this make sense to everyone? Okay, great. All right. So first and foremost, what is a brand, right? I love this from Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, if you guys didn't know. Branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And I want you to really think about that for a second, because I don't think we stop enough to really analyze what it is that we're putting out into the world and what people are saying when we're not in the room. This really makes a difference. I have a question for you guys. Why don't all entrepreneurs have a world-class brand? Or more importantly, why don't you, now about 120 people in the room, why don't you all have a world-class brand? Money, number one, always the number one. Yes, what else? What is it? Time? Time is always number two. Wow, you guys are a good crowd. Dallas is in the house, right? We got that on film. Those are the top three right there. The money, the time, and I don't know how. Give me one more. I don't know how. Yeah, exactly. Those are the top three, every city, every conversation I've ever had. So knowing this, remember, I'm an entrepreneur just like you. I'm not a sales guy to sell you branding stuff. I'm a guy that figured out a way to be way more effective of what you're already doing. Because I'm not doing anything different. I'm just doing it way better than all of you. Because I sat there, and I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be a dick. The reality is I wanted to sell more for my business. Do you want to sell more for your business? you follow what I just showed you, you will sell more in your business. There is no question, there is zero doubt, I guarantee it. Like I guarantee it, meaning if you implement my process after we're doing my program and you don't see the results immediately, I'll give you your money back. I'll credit you. I don't care. Because I know what it's going to do for people. There is no one that has ever worked with me and followed my process and not seen immediate success. It's like getting out of your Mercedes and getting into a Bentley. You see the difference in 1 second. It's like that, okay? Now, I'm going to explain to you how to create this, or how we create this, and if you have the capabilities, by all means, you can do this. But most importantly, what I want to explain is the program I created was to, number one, take the 3 concerns out of the equation. Number one, you don't know how? Well, we take care of it for you, so it doesn't matter. And I'm still going to teach you, so you're going to know how. Number 2, time. I require an hour and a half when we start and an hour and a half 30 days later. We do the entire branding package in 30 days or less, depending on how fast our client gets back to us. And it requires 3 hours total of your time. Anybody got 3 hours in 30 days? Absolutely. And the money factor. Most branding companies, branding agencies, when they're going to do a brand for someone, on average, what does that cost? Anybody know? Anybody ever had a company that did a whole brand? Well, that's very inexpensive, actually, for a full branding campaign. And yeah, like a big. Okay, all right. Well, anybody else? On average, any mid to large branding company for small businesses will charge between $10,000 to $50,000. And what they end up giving you is a book called your brand book, has your logo, has your colors, has your fonts, has your logo on billboards, signs, trucks, things you probably never have your logo on anyway. And then they go, here you go, $10,000, $30,000, $50,000. The reason I know this is because, number one, I've done the research, but number two, I worked with a company that was doing that. And I have a good friend that owns a company that he charges $20,000, $30,000, builds you a website, builds you a brand, and then goes, here you go. Now you got to go sell. There is no actual marketing plan to help you create more. So what I wanted to do, under $6,000, in under 30 days, with less than 3 hours of your time, I wanted to create something that would produce results for you immediately. Because even if I charge $60,000 instead of $6,000, it would not make a difference if you don't get the results. Because do you really care about how amazing you look if it's not actually making you more sales? No. And the reality is, people do not buy products and services. They buy the results of the products or services. This iPhone 8 Plus, if I sold it to you for $1, would you want it? Yeah. What if it told you it doesn't work? Maybe I could use it as a paperweight, right? But the point is, it's not the iPhone that we're buying, it's the results that this iPhone produces. Make sense? It's the same thing. When I created this, I didn't want to create something to sell to people to make them look great. I wanted to create something that's going to produce results and it's going to get raving fans. That's why I have someone in the back of the room that said, I want to be there. I want to be able to talk to people that have concerns like she did, because she was freaking out about spending $6,000, and she was having this whole, and she'll tell you about it, with her girlfriend, back and forth like an hour, and finally she did it, and it's the best thing she ever did for her business. Because from one day to the next, she went from that Mercedes to that Bentley. And the moment you are driving around in a Bentley, not only do you feel better, but people see the difference, okay? So the first thing that we do is that we create what's called an expert title. Okay, does anybody here in the room already have an expert title? Anybody? Come on, guys. Shoot. Tell me, shoot it out. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, who else?
I'm the cow guy.
The cow guy, okay. That is a nickname. It's not an expert title, but I like it. What else?
Authentic American Indian art.
It's not really an expert title. It's more, that could be more going into your USP. We'll talk about that in a second. Expert title, who you are for them. Who's them?
I am with Dallas's elite spray tan provider.
She just made that up, but it's good. I like it.
I have it. I'm with Dallas City A-list.
Do you have it on your business card? Give it to me right now.
I don't have it.
Okay. I would have given you a bonus if you had it on your business card. But yes, that's an expert title. Okay? Why? Who you are for them. Who's them? Your customers. Your potential customers. Here is what is not an expert title. President, CEO, founder, director, executive, vice president. Those are just positions in companies. And guess who that title position is for? It's for you. It's not for me. It's not for them. It provides no value for them. Now, if you are a corporate executive and you are in the C level and you're doing different business and you're not an entrepreneur, that's a different conversation. But I'm speaking to entrepreneurs in the room, right? We are all the CEO, president, and founder of our businesses, yes? But nobody gives a, you know what? Why? Because it provides no value to them. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you cannot provide immediate value for people when they meet you, they have no interest in continuing to have the conversation with you. And what a lot of people do is they try to immediately sell, and then they lose the potential engagement that they could have had. And the reality is somebody could have an amazing service, but just their approach and how they communicate with you provides no value. You don't want to talk to them. Has this ever happened to anybody? Yes. The next thing, which is more important than an expert title, is USP. But before I get into the USP, I'm going to give you an example of an expert title. All right? I'm going to introduce myself two different ways. One with my executive title and one with my expert title. And I want you to tell me, listen closely, I want you to tell me if you feel a difference. You ready? Hello everyone, my name is Rey Perez and I'm owner and founder of AMP Productions. Hello everyone, my name is Rey Perez and I'm an authority branding expert. Did you feel a difference? Why? Because the second one is for you. The second one provides value for you. Who cares if I'm owner and founder of this production company? You don't even know who AMP Productions is. Who cares? But an authority and branding expert says, okay, this guy might be able to help me. He might be able to help someone I know. There's immediate value just from the introduction. Does this make sense to everyone? Yes. So what's the first thing we're all going to get when we go home? An expert title. Yes, absolutely. You don't need me to create an expert title. I mean, you need me to create you the best expert title, but you guys can create your own expert titles just like she did. The next thing, write this down, is USP. Unique selling proposition. This is by far the most important that any business owner, company, or individual needs. This is your unique selling proposition. What separates you from your competition? What makes you stand out? But most importantly, it's not what you do, it's what you do for them, because it's about the results. It's about what's in it for them. They really don't care what you do. They only care about what you're going to do for them. Does this make sense for everyone? And let's be realistic. You know, this is how we feel. When we're going to go to someone, we're doing like, oh, so what do you do? I'm interested in learning more about you. It's not because we're assholes. It's just because the reality is we're not going to waste our time just having conversations. We're business people. We're working. We need to build our business and make money. We want to know what's in it for us. But what a lot of us do is spend time telling them what we do instead of telling them what we do for them. And I'm sure, I'm not going to ask the question, but I'm sure some of you guys, shit, I've done that before, right? I know you've experienced it because I experienced it. Before I started realizing that it's not about me, it's all about them, and it's all about providing value, and it's about helping them where they need to go. And if I focused on that, then everything I want will just follow and come. So what you said earlier, ma'am, would fall into more of your USP. Does that make sense? Explaining a little bit about what it is that you're going to do for them. All right. Anybody heard of Zig Ziglar? The man, right? This is what he says. If people like you, they'll listen to you. But if they trust you, they'll do business with you. And realize there's a difference. There's a difference between someone liking you and someone trusting you. It requires a little bit more to get that trust. So everything that I do when I create this brand for my clients is building trust, credibility, and expert status in your particular niche or industry. Because here's the thing. We can be the celebrity of our own niche, of our own business, of our own space. And I'm going to give you an example. Have you guys ever heard of Britney Spears or J-Lo? Yep, okay. Did you know that they did not create their own perfume? I was shocked when I found that out. No, I'm just kidding. I would never be able to do that. No, I'm kidding. But they sold a whole lot of those perfumes, right? For whoever made that perfume. Why? Because they put their celebrity name on it and it attracted people. I got another one. What is the best-selling Nike of all time? Nobody said Nike. They're the Nike Jordans, right? But nobody even says the word Nike. Now Jordan's got his own line. Why? because Jordan slapped his name on it. And that's why there's a lot of professional athletes that slap their names on all different types of apparel and shoes to sell more. Why? Because people like to buy from people. And more importantly, they like to buy from celebrity status people. Now, I know what everyone's thinking. I ain't Britney Spears, J-Lo, or Jordan, right? But you can. You can become the Jordan of your space. You can become the rock star celebrity of your particular niche with a Ferrari-style branding and marketing process. Because here's the thing. Nobody knows you. They've never met you. They don't know who you are. All they know is what they see when they meet you for the first time. Does this make sense to everybody? You are who you say you are. Now, don't misconstrue it. I'm not saying to just make something up, right? We really want to take who you are and what you do and build this brand around it. And that's what I specialize in doing. When I create a personal brand, it's not about your business. We can integrate what you do in business, but it's not dependent on the business you're in. I have some clients that don't even know what they want to do. They just know that they want to create their brand and get out into the world. I have some clients that have multiple businesses and are like not sure, how do I market myself through all these companies that I have these 6 emails? I'm like, it's really simple. We create a brand around you, we make you the trustworthy, credible individual, and then you direct the person to wherever they want to go. You don't need 6 emails. You just need an email with your name.com after it. And then you send them to this website or to this website, depending on who's the person, the conversation you have. Does that make sense? But people are because of big corporations, we all think we need to start building this brand like we're AT&T or something, and we're not. We are individual entrepreneurs and business owners. We are the CEO and celebrity of our business and of our space. And the more you dive into that, the more you put out into the world, all of a sudden, the more that gets attracted to you. I see so many entrepreneurs and business owners, and they're hunting. They're always chasing that next sale. And you know what I teach? I teach to be a fisherman. What does a fisherman do? Drops the bait, maybe drinks his beer, and sits and waits. What's the bait? The bait's your digital collateral. It's your marketing content. It's your online presence. The more you get out into the world, and the better quality bait it is, the more you're going to attract to your business. And once they see you and they land you on your wherever it is, and they feel that you are this celebrity in your particular niche, because they've never met you before anybody. Does anybody know who Gary Vee is? Did anybody know who Gary Vee was before you knew who Gary Vee was? He was nobody. But now Gary Vee's like, oh my God, Gary Vee. Grant Cardone? Anybody know who Grant Cardone is? Anybody know who Tony Robbins is? Do you believe that some people don't know who Tony Robbins is? They have no idea who Tony Robbins is. Some of you guys didn't know who Les Brown was. And Les Brown is phenomenal. He's huge. And some of you guys had no clue who he is. So I want you to realize, when we're talking about real, full-blown celebrities and people don't know who they are, they definitely don't know who you are. And that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing, because you get to be whoever you want to be. But here's the deal. If you look like a celebrity, they're going to be attracted to you. They're going to want to do business with you. And most importantly is this. They have to want to do business with you over your competition. Because the only reason you're not going to get a sale, besides them not buying, is because they go with someone else. Does anybody experience that? Absolutely. So what you have to realize is, like, your competition needs to be here, and you need to be here. When they go and research who's doing the same thing you're doing in the space, it needs to be a night and day difference. They need to be like, there's no comparison. And this is how you charge more money for what you do. Because it's based on your value. It's not based exactly on the product or service. You can have the exact same product or service and charge more money if your value is higher. And this is how I've done my business. I've increased my prices for the last 6.5 years consistently. Every year, sometimes within 6 to 8 months. Now, I'm constantly evolving, I'm constantly growing, I'm constantly improving. I'm not delivering the same product I did 6 months or a year ago, but I'm sure you guys are as well. Because as entrepreneurs, you need to be innovators as well. You need to always try to be ahead of the curve. You always want to be improving, giving better customer service, providing more value for your customers. But if you continue to do that, guess what? You continue to charge more money. Does anybody want to charge more money for what they're doing right now? Yes? No? No? Okay, all right. All right, so lastly, I'm going to show you a couple examples. So here's consistency and omnipresent. You want to have a consistent look and feel on all your social medias. Why? Because when people are researching you, we all know that they are because you guys are doing it with other people, if they don't see the same message and the same look and feel, there's going to be inconsistency. If there's inconsistency, there's lack of credibility. And no one's going to call you up and say, hey, I was checking you out on social media, and I see that you're kind of all over the place, and I'm feeling a little bit doubtful about you. I'm thinking I'm going to go with your competition. Nobody's going to call you and tell you that. But guess what? If there's inconsistencies, for sure, in the back of their mind, they have loss of credibility for who you are. Okay? This is just an example of a Facebook cover, and this actually is Tracy, who is one of my clients in the back room. Say hi, Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Now you got a fan club too. All right, and she could tell you I'll let her come up and tell her story in a minute. Become more effective and efficient. How many of you have extra time on your hands? If you do, you can come work for me, because I don't. So all I do, because I only have 24 hours in the day, just like you, is I focus on creating more effective and efficient processes. Because that's the only way I can gain more time. I can get more done in the same amount of time that all of you have. And that's where I've created this digital business card, calendar appointment setting, program and process. It's not just to get the connection of the potential customer or the client and have a sales conversation. That's reason number one. But reason number two is I have no involvement in the process. So when I send them the calendar, they click on it, they schedule, I had no involvement. The day of the meeting, they receive an email personalized to them 2 hours ahead, confirming them and giving them a link just in case they need to cancel or reschedule. Then they get a text message an hour and a half with the exact same process. They typically reply to that text message, and guess who gets the reply? I do. So not only am I reminding them, automated and personalized, I'm giving them the option to reschedule and cancel without me being involved. But most importantly and lastly, when they reply to the text message, they're actually reminding me that I have a meeting with them. When's the last time your customer or client reminded you that you had a meeting? So what does that mean? It's a more efficient, effective process that saves me hours and hours of time every week. Because here's the truth. I have sometimes 7 to 8 meetings in one day. I don't know how many people on average have 7 to 8 sales meetings in one day. And when I mean sales is I'm going to have a conversation of getting to know you, letting you know what I do, and see if there's a way we can work together, right? That's a sales conversation because that can lead to a sale, whether it's through you individually or through someone that you refer. It's a sales conversation. How many of you guys have 7 to 8 sales conversations lined up per day? You do? Then you don't need to be here. You can get out of here. Let's kidding. So the reality now the next step, right, when you get to that point is how can we close more of those conversations, right? Because it's not just about having the conversations, it's about closing the conversations. It's about getting the sale, which is the next step in my process, which I don't have time to go into that, but that's what our program does for our clients. So we make you look like a rock star celebrity. We give you an entire marketing process so that you can connect and build the relationships and get a sales call on the books, and we also help you save time and money. I do every single one of my meetings via Zoom video conferencing. Everybody used Zoom before? Anybody know about it? One of the best, most powerful tools. You can use it on your computer. You can use it on your cell phone. The best part is we get to see one another. I want to make myself stand out. I don't want to be like everybody else and just be on a phone call. I want to engage with my customer. I want to see in their eyes when I ask them the question. Why? It's going to improve my sales. So in our program, we teach all our clients when they schedule their call to try to schedule their call on a Zoom call. Now you're going to be more effective with turning those sales conversations into actual sales. Make sense? You still with me? There you go. It happens to me all the time, don't worry. Okay, so here are a few clients, and so you can see what an omnipresent brand looks like. So on the right, you see a profile image, an email signature, digital business card, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+. All the social medias, everything looks consistent, everything matches with the brand, everything has an expert title, everything has a USP. On the left, you're going to see what's called the credibility card. It has a little paragraph about the person, all about credibility to build up who they are, and that's what we use for referrals. And when I say referrals, if you're going to introduce me to someone, I'm going to say, do you have this person's cell phone number? You do? Okay, great. I'm going to send you a text message. All I want you to do is copy and paste it, send it in a group text message with you, me, and the person you're referring me to, and include my credibility card. That's my referral process. Why? Because I'm doing two things. I'm controlling the way I get referred, meaning the edification process, the language that's used to refer me. And number two, I'm making it super easy for him. It's just a picture. Just a picture through text. You got it. Super simple. Everybody know how to send pictures? Okay, good. Then you guys can do this. Why? That's the first impression that the person receives, and then the language in the text that I copy and sent him is perfectly crafted. It says, hello, what would be someone that can use this service that can recommend me?
A coach.
Okay, do you know anyone who's a coach? Oh, perfect. So Rich is going to introduce me to Rich. So it's going to say, hello, Rich. I want to introduce you to Rey Perez. He's a branding authority expert who works with personality-driven businesses to create amazing digital brands. I think he could be a great resource for you. You should connect. And he includes that. There's no sales language in that text whatsoever. It's only about creating a connection that I can be a resource for him. And now that person, I join the conversation, because anybody know how to do three-way text, right? If not, I'll teach you. I join the conversation by saying, thank you, Rich. Nice to meet you, so-and-so. And then I start the full process that I did with her. Above is my digital business card. Below is my contact card. When is a good time for us to connect this week or next? Question mark. They reply to me, oh, thanks, Rich. So good to meet you, Ray. Obviously, now they know who I am. They saw me. They're like, wow, they read it. If they really wanted to read it, if they go to my 360 site, now they're connecting me. They're doing the research. And now they're like, yeah, I'd definitely like to connect. How about Tuesday? Here's a link to my calendar. Click on it. Pick the most important time. So I do referrals with 3 clicks. And when I say 3 clicks, I have short codes that I teach people how to use. So I just go A1 send, A2 send, A3 send, and I'm done. And I have the person on the books for my sales conversation in 3 clicks of a text message. Think you guys can do that? Here's the best part. He did absolutely no work and no thinking. He copied and pasted and sent. Because the number one reason that I've realized why people do not refer as much as they could, and I'm talking about your happy customers. You guys have happy customers, right? I'm sure you do. Your happy customers could be referring you more business, but they're not, because it actually takes thought and time to send somebody a referral. You guys agree or disagree? So if I asked them for the referral, he'd gladly say yes, but if I give him exactly what to do, within 5 seconds, the referral is made. And guess what's the best part? I know if the referral was sent or not, because I'm in the text message. So if Rich hasn't sent me the text, hey, Rich, can you send that text? I'm about to step into a meeting. 3 seconds later, bing, I got my referral. And the best part is I'm not chasing the referral, because what I will never do, and not because I'm too important, because I realize the positioning of power when it comes to sales, is I will never call someone who's a referral. I will never call a lead. I will never follow up with anyone to do business with me. Why? Because I have what they need. I don't need them to be my customer. And I need you to think the same way. It's very important. So he's going to introduce me and he's going to engage me, which means I didn't do the follow-up. He made the connection. All I do is thank him, acknowledge him, and introduce myself to the person. So I have not lost my positioning of power whatsoever. And then I have that person's schedule on my calendar, which means they are actively choosing to have a conversation and meet with me. And that usually happens within 24 to 48 hours. So just imagine how many customers, clients, and contacts that you have that you can ask them to refer you one person that's your ideal customer. And why do I only ask for one? Any idea? Why don't I ask like, hey, if you could send me a bunch of referrals, it's better, right? Why do I only ask for one?
Because each one will reach for another one. First overwhelming the first person.
Say it louder.
So each one will refer someone else, because one person is better than, overwhelming that person.
It's an endless cycle. One refers one, one refers one, one refers one. It never ends. And it's a finite number. So it's do this. Like you're going to do this. You're going to refer me one, which means I don't ask for referrals. I get referrals. You ask for referrals. If I am going to say, do you know someone that can benefit from this? I'm going to ask you, what's their name? Okay, great. I'm going to send you a text message right now. Can you send a 3-way text? I get the referral. I don't ask for a referral. In the moment, I get the referral. And I don't have to be in front of you. I could be in a text conversation with you, and I can ask him, do you have someone? Can you think of someone that's an entrepreneur or business owner that can use my branding services? Yes. What's their name? Mary. Okay, great. Send this in a three-way text with Mary and me, and make sure to include my credibility card. Done. 2 minutes later, he hasn't sent it. Guess what? I'm calling him. Hey, can you send him? I'm about to go in a meeting. Done. I got the referral. Do that 5 times in a day. You have 5 appointments for next week. Done. Do you think this could increase your leads and your referrals for your business? And remember, it's a qualified lead. They're not referring you someone that they found off the street. They're going into their memory banks and they're thinking, who is someone that would be the perfect customer for what this person does? They're actually sending you a qualified, warm referral lead. Could you get anything better than that? We all agreed in the beginning of this presentation that we all get our business from referrals, right? Warm market. And they're qualified because they actually, person thought about this person could benefit because they know that person. Does this make sense, everyone? Okay, great. All right, so lastly, you guys all went to my 360 site. This is the tool. If you didn't already, send the word Expo. Go ahead, go to Rey Perez 360, click on the contact card, send text message, send the word Expo so that I can invite you to tomorrow's workshop and also we can stay in contact. And lastly, I like to talk about social proof marketing. Once we've created the brand, once you have your marketing process, you're getting all your leads, you want to get more eyeballs on you. And that's where you leverage the power of social media. But you got to put quality content out on social media to get more eyeballs on your new amazing brand that we just created for you. And how do you do that? You do that through photos and videos. And these cool little things here, I like to say that I invented them, but I'm sure they exist in the world somewhere. These are called social media marketing signs. These are meant for your customers, your clients, people you know, to hold and take a picture. I do this one for the ladies, this one for the guys, right? And it's really simple. A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? Well, a picture holding this sign is worth a lot more because when they see this, it's telling them already. And you put this on your Instagram, you put this on your Facebook, you put this on your LinkedIn, you put it on your website, you put it in your email marketing, guess what? Social proof validation. I mean, technically speaking, I can just pick up pretty girls and have them take pictures and put it anywhere I want. It'd still work, but the idea is that you use this for your customers and your clients, right? The next thing is that banner right there. That banner is used not only for events like this, but it's used for testimonials. It's used for people to stand in front of it and give a testimonial about who you are and the services you provide, but most importantly, when they're speaking about you, guess what the person watching the video is seeing? Your photo. So I'm actually, in a minute, going to show you a video that actually Julian produced and see exactly what it is I'm talking to you about. But this is called marketing content creation, specifically social proof. This is what everyone needs to be doing once they have their brand solidified and omnipresent out into the world, because this is what's going to get more eyeballs on your business outside of the word of mouth and the referrals that you already understand how to do. Make sense? Okay. So really quick, I'm going to go over what our program includes. Number one, we do what's called a personal brand strategy session. We make sure that we dive into who you are and what you do to create the proper brand. I don't make things up. I really pull out what your greatness is in the world and turn it into a digital product. The best thing about creating a personal brand is it doesn't change. It's who you are. Your business can change, but who you are is not going to change. And that's the best thing. You can have multiple businesses. You could switch your business. Your personal brand doesn't have to make any shifts for you to make your contacts and direct the person you met to whatever business you want. Does that make sense? Expert title and USP, we help you create that, craft the language so it's spot on. Your digital business card, just like I showed you on the cell phone. Your email signature at the bottom of your email. I didn't really get into that, but if you don't have your image in the bottom of your email, people usually like to see who's emailing them. It's a real big benefit to have, so we make sure that that's branded properly. All your social media profile images, the main image of you smiling. I explain to people, when I have a profile image, my profile image says my name and my expert title. Because this beautiful schmug doesn't actually do anything and provide value. My expert title does. So in every profile image that I have on my social media, I provide people value. Now, a profile image isn't just for social media. We have profile images on Uber, Lyft, and all the different apps that you have in your phone. So guess what? I upload my new profile image. I have gotten business just by going to Uber because they read my expert title, asked me what I did last night. Oh my God, Quincy, stand up, buddy. I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot like that. Quincy was my Lyft driver yesterday. Say hi to Quincy, everyone. Am I right? Am I? He's here and he's looking sharp, man. Just look, I've never had this situation. I'll give you the $100 after, okay? No, just kidding. So a profile image is not just for your social media. It's for every program, software, application that has that little icon. You want to have a profile image that has your name and has your expert title, because you have no idea where you can get business from. Social media covers are obviously the top of all your social medias. We do all 6 social medias. We do Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. If you're not on all the social medias, guess what? We're going to get you on all the social medias, because you got to be omnipresent. We're also going to teach you how to distribute your content, your social proof content, on all your social medias by only spending 4 hours a month. 4 hours a month, and get content to all 6 of your social medias on a daily basis in only 4 hours. We're going to teach you how to do that in the program. Credibility card, that's the referral card that you use for all the referral introductions with the little bio about you. Business gift card, that is a physical business card. When you're at events, you have 10 people come up to you, you're at a networking event. Sometimes if you're not one-on-one, you can't do the digital business card. You need to be able to hand something out. We have these cards that on the front is a business card, but on the back is a connection to your 360 site, which is where people can connect with you later on and do their research, which we all know they want to do. Make sense? Social media marketing signs, I showed you those. One side is the heart, one side is the thumbs up. The credibility banner, right there. Personal marketing action plan. This is the most important thing. I have given my clients not only the done-for-you service, I've given you a step-by-step PDF where it explains to you everything that we do. I give you the scripts. That text message that I sent her, I give you the exact scripts. The referral text message, I give you that script. All you do is put your name, your expert title, and you're done. And then I teach you how to create short codes in your phone, so in 2 clicks, you're now actually sending the messages. And now you're really engaging and getting those calendar on. And the last thing is the personal brand Q&A session. We revise everything with you and make sure that you understand and that you're implementing it. Because even though I might create all this for you and get it out into the world, if you're not implementing it properly, you're not going to see the same results. And my commitment to my clients is that you actually get results. Not that you're just happy with the way you look, because I guarantee you're going to be happy with the way you look, but I want you to actually have measurable results so that you can give me a testimonial and you can refer me to one person, because that's exactly how I build my business. Besides speaking at events like this, it's all referrals. Every single one of my clients refers. And I've created what's called an affiliate referral program. So I pay people to refer me, not because I have to, because they'll refer me anyway, but because I believe that people should be compensated for whatever they do, right? And I've created such an amazing program doing that my clients refer me a lot more than one, because I give them branding credit for future social media, videos, and other services that we provide so that they can reinvest in their business. I teach you to do the same thing. You can all have an affiliate partnership program for your business that either pays a commission or provides a service credit to what you already do. And I teach you how to do that within the program. And I want to show you what some of my clients have to say. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to see what other real people have to say about working with me and my program.
The best thing about working with Rey is his personality and his knowledge about private branding. I've been working with him since May, and it's amazing how my business has changed. In the last few months, I've done my numbers that I've set out to do. People are just calling me up, they're sending me texts, they're sending me emails, and because of that, my business has changed.
The thing that I like best about working with Rey is that he's very invested in my company as if it were his own. You know, I know that he's not there for himself or to make a sale. He's there for me because he is someone who truly wants to see people succeed.
Every time I see Rey, we meet up, I'm learning something new that's going to propel my business that much further forward.
Since I met Rey, I know and I've seen that whatever he says, he does. So I'm pretty sure we're going to do amazing things together.
What I like best about working with Rey is his positive outlook and his energy. He has unbelievable energy and he really cares.
if you're an entrepreneur, if you're just a professional.
Any business.
Whether they're experienced or not experienced.
If you are serious about what you do as a business,
You need the expertise of Rey Perez, for sure. There's no doubt about it.
This is called social proof marketing content. The photos and the videos, and this is what you want to start putting out into the world once your brand is established. Because seeing this either on YouTube, seeing it in an email, seeing it on your website, seeing it on any social media will actually attract them now to go see your page. Now when they land on your page, they're going to see your branding and they're going to start doing some more research and engagement. And that's how you end up getting conversations and opt-ins through the power of online. I know only 2 people said that they were using online, but everyone can be using online. Everyone can be getting business and leads by just leveraging who you are through this type of social proof marketing.